Hey everybody, it's Christina Holloway here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something that is my biggest pet peeve, and that is using cumbersome writing techniques in your emails and chats. I recently had a client who asked me how she could politely ask her managers to write better and use better writing etiquette during their interactions with each other and stakeholders. I basically told her she needed to be direct with them to help them understand the culture of communication at her company. But today, I'm going to share with you the 9 biggest red flags that will keep you from being taken seriously as a professional. Real quick, if you enjoy this content and want to learn more about how to succeed in your career, make sure to follow my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video from me. All right, so let's get started. Number 1, you're using emojis. Lots and lots of emojis. I'm going to go with the conventional rule here, and that's to avoid using emojis as much as possible. Now, I'm aware that it's a good way to communicate, especially in chat, so that the other person gets the point of your text. Overall, however, here's a good rule. If you're writing to someone above you, a manager, senior manager, director, or executive, avoid it everywhere. If you're writing to someone who's your peer or a stakeholder working with you on a big project and you've developed a rapport, go ahead and use the safe ones. Number 2, you're writing the long email. I was guilty of this one a lot, and I needed to learn how to structure my emails. You may have a lot to say about a particular topic, and you may think that putting the entire summary in the email is a great idea. I did. But I finally sent one too many of these biggie emails to my executive director, and she immediately said the following to me. I appreciate how much work you put into this material, but I need to be able to read it quickly, understand what you need from me, and respond so that it's off my plate. Please rewrite it so I know exactly what you want. Terrific. Now I have a plan. Here's what I tell my clients. If you're trying to break a big email habit, structure the email with what you need first and add all the extra as an addendum to the email so the recipient can look at the extra work if necessary. Also, if you're writing these big elaborate emails because you think it makes you look good, you're wrong. Executive communication boils down to 2 things. Get to the point, then take action. Number 3, you're not using an outline. This one's related to number 2. Start using a structure to your emails so that all of your messages stay inside that framework. Here's an example. Tell them the situation, tell them what you need, and then explain why. Always use these 3 sentences in the beginning of your email. You can even do this in your text messages and chat. Always give context and then tell them what you need. Number 4, you don't use your adverbs and adjectives correctly. There's a huge rant coming with this one. In my previous role in brand marketing, I was the writer, the editor, and the proofreader for client-facing content. I was brand-approved writer, and I was very well versed in the company's style guide, which was based off the Chicago Style Guide, linking that below for you. I know how to read content for messaging, and I know how to read content for grammar. Please take a minute to remind yourself about the differences in using then and than, using affect and effect, and using have and of. It drives me crazy, and if you don't think people notice, well, I'm here to tell you that they do. People at the executive level are literate. There are some who don't pay attention to writing, but those people without fail hire someone who can write well for them. Think of this as your first efforts in creating an executive brand. Would you like to be the executive who is articulate, well-spoken, and refined, or the one people giggle at behind your back? Quick side note, if you really aren't sure how to use a word, don't use it. It's a great way to make your communication simple and clear. Number 5, you don't make your ask at the beginning. I used to do this too. I'd write my biggie email, make it one huge paragraph, and stick my ask somewhere in the middle of all that text. Then I'd wonder, why didn't I get a quick response? The answer, I had no idea what you wanted. Tell them in the beginning why you're reaching out. You can even put this in the subject of your email. Action needed. It's a great way to help other people understand why you're reaching out to them in the first place. Number 6, you aren't helpful. This is another pet peeve of mine. I always knew what kind of people I was dealing with when I'd get an email like this. When you're really busy, you might reach out to someone in another team or department and ask for help. Do you know how to get this expense approved? And the other person will do one of two things. Either write you back and tell you to call Sue yourself, who you don't know, or write back by connecting you to Sue and helping to make the introduction. The first option is lazy. This is actually a situation my client brought to me. Her question was, how do I impress upon my lower level people that when a manager or director reaches out for information, they should be helpful instead of passing the buck? This is proper email etiquette. Make sure you have the sense to connect two strangers and that you give context to the ask. It's the extra step that sets you apart from the others who are letting you know they cannot be bothered with your request. It's super rude and it leaves a bad impression. Number 7, you aren't looking at your email in context. This is hard, but try to do it anyway. You might write an email, especially to someone who's driving you crazy or really frustrating you. You may think you're being direct. In fact, that person will most likely receive the note in a defensive way. What to do? Make sure that one of the last sentences welcomes you to have a further conversation to clear up any questions or concerns. It allows the other person to feel like there's opportunity for a discussion. This is a situation that's quite common. Someone will write you back defensively and you'll be baffled as to how they misinterpreted your note. Well, maybe they were in a bad mood. Maybe they just got off a crazy call with someone else. Maybe they had an emergency at home. Anything could have put them in a mindset to receive your note in the wrong way. Always make sure you leave an opening to help the other person understand your point of view without alienating them. Number 8, you're too demanding. This recently happened to a client of mine. She wrote an email to her team and external stakeholders, and she used the trifecta of aggressive communication: all caps, underlining, and bold. Now, there's a place for it. I use these techniques if I want the date and time for a meeting to be noticed. I don't use it to make sure the person receiving my note understands my level of frustration. Don't put that stuff in writing. If you're frustrated or feel you need to use this extra decoration to get your message across, then take a step back, rethink your approach, and send an email requesting a meeting. Make your point verbally. Sending emails with this much fanfare sends an aggressive message. Don't do it. Number 9, your sentences are too verbose. Dear Bob, per our meeting last week, I'm sending you this email as a means to request your presence at the next team development meeting related to budget planning. I'd sincerely appreciate it if you could respond at your earliest convenience regarding your attendance. No. And if this is how you currently write, take another pass at it and make it simple. The first rule, write how you talk. Hi, Bob. I'm following up from our last planning meeting to make sure you can attend our next call on Thursday. Let me know by Wednesday if you can attend. Much appreciated. And if you feel you need some help in making the changes listed here, go ahead and start with an online app like Grammarly. Adding the link below. Is going to give you great suggestions on how to up-level your writing style before you send out that bulky, clumsy, biggie email. All right, so that's it for my video on how to up-level your writing style in email and chat so that you're taken more seriously at work. Let me know down below in the comments if you've seen or done any of these mistakes. I certainly have. Feel free to share your experiences. I'd love to hear about them. If you've enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up by hitting that like button, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you never miss another video from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.